So we're back for a second question, and this time it's around the topic of the basic fabric structures, right? So why is it important to understand the basic fabric structures in making the right kind of design decisions?
See, here again, if we are aware of what the end product needs to be, it becomes much more easier for us to decide on whether to go with a particular kind of like fabric structure. So the basics way of dividing the fabric structure is to go with wovens and knits.
Wovens and knits are the two broad
Yeah,
categories.
the broad categories. And then from there we can actually decide on, like, based on the drapability, based on the the feel of the fabric, and based on the cost as well. We can actually get to decide on ultimately what fabric we go ahead with.
So do you think it will be useful to go a little bit into detail of what?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's go through the knitted structures first. So these are the basic knitted structures where that's the weft knitting, the basic single jersey. And then if we go into the weft knit rib one by one, which is much more stretchable and much more stretch recovery is there. If we go into warp knitting, like interlock fabrics, then again the properties changes, the stretchability changes, but it has got more sheen on the fabric. So all again the 3 by 3 Dobby giving a different kind of a structure or the outlook on the fabric. The bird's eye PK giving a different structure, much more stable kind of fabric. Pointel, which is giving more like detailed kind of a design on the surface of the fabric, which is mostly used for the ladies' garments. Jacquard knit, again, it's a very expensive kind of a fabric, and it's much more like dimensionally much more stable as compared to the single jersey. Variegated rib, again, like Dobby rib, it has got certain structure, and again the stretch and the recovery is much higher.
So
if we talk about
that was what we spoke about was knits, basically.
Yeah, all those were knit fabrics having various structures, and based on those structures, their properties changes, and we have to be careful enough to use a particular fabric in a particular situation or the particular end product that we are looking for.
Makes sense, yeah. Okay, so and what we're looking at now is woven.
Yeah. So these are the basic woven structures. The plain weave, which is the most commonly used weave. The next commonly used weave is the twill weave. Plain weave has a lesser dimensional stability as compared to twill. And then there is basket, herringbone, houndstooth. These are all Dobby weaves, and here it's a jacquard. So all these are the various woven structures. Then if we compare woven structures with knit structures, then knit structures will be much more dimensionally unstable as compared to.
Can we see an image of why it is like that? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I'll show you the differences between the knitted and the woven fabrics. So what happens here is, if we go for the knitted fabric, it can be done in a single yarn. So the interlooping happens within the same yarn itself, creating a fabric like this. And if we go for a woven fabric, it has to have minimum 2 yarns interlaced with each other to create a fabric.
So therefore, that is a lot more structurally
Yeah.
stronger.
So there is much more less air gap between the yarns. So it is much more structured as compared to them. And then that's the reason why it has got loose coverage in the knitted fabrics as compared to the woven fabrics, and the stretchability also differs.
Right.
So the knitted fabrics are much more stretchable as compared to the woven fabrics, because of the structure in in which it is made.
Right. So, do you think at this point you could actually show what knitted and
Yeah.
woven?
So that's the knitted fabric,
Yeah.
which is much more like
Yeah.
drapey in nature as compared to a woven fabric, which
So
is much
these are
more
the core.
structured.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And in terms of the cost implications, because that's a big consideration in.
Yeah, I must say that the knitted fabrics are much cheaper as compared to woven fabrics because of the preparatory process involved. In the woven fabrics, there are two ends of yarn, and both has to go to two to three various stages of preparatory processes, as compared to knits, which has got only one preparatory process. So, which adds on to the extra cost implied in the woven fabrics.
Great. So essentially what we've covered, just as a quick recap, is the basic fabric structures, knits and wovens. Why it's important to understand these two, because there are implications for both how the fabric feels, the drapability, and implications of cost. Okay, so thank you very much for covering this for us.